They warned her again and again, but love doesn't listen to fear. The night her family locked the gate, she stood on the other side of it, barefoot on cold concrete, realizing that love sometimes demands a courage that feels heavier than fear itself. The house where she had learned to walk, laugh, and dream now stood silent behind iron bars, and in that silence she understood that her heart had already crossed a line her family would never forgive. It was the moment when loyalty and love collided, and she knew that whatever happened next would change her life forever. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of love that refuses to die, take a moment right now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps keep stories like this alive. She had never planned to fall in love the way she did. It began quietly, almost invisibly, the way life-changing things often do. A shared glance that lingered too long, a sense of calm she had never felt before, the comfort of being understood without having to explain herself. For the first time in her life, she felt seen not as a daughter, a responsibility, or a future promise to be arranged, but as a human being with her own heartbeat and dreams. That feeling scared her, because she knew how tightly her family held the reins of her future. Her family believed love was something decided with logic, reputation, and tradition. They had planned her life like a careful map, where every step was already marked and deviation was dangerous. Education, marriage, family honor, everything had its place, and she was expected to fit neatly inside it. When they sensed a change in her, the way her eyes softened and her silences grew deeper, suspicion crept in. They began asking questions, watching her movements, measuring her smiles. Love to them was a threat. The more they tried to pull her back into the familiar shape of obedience, the more she felt herself slipping away. At night, she lay awake listening to the sounds of the house, the ticking clock, the distant traffic, wondering how something as pure as love could feel so forbidden. She felt guilty for wanting happiness that did not come with her family's approval, and terrified of the consequences if she chose it anyway. Her heart became a battlefield, torn between gratitude for everything her family had given her and the quiet truth that she was slowly suffocating. When her family finally discovered the truth, the house filled with tension so thick it felt hard to breathe. The warmth she had known all her life turned into cold judgment. Every look carried disappointment. Every silence felt like a verdict. They spoke of shame, of ruined futures, of sacrifices they had made for her. They reminded her of her duty, her roots, her place. And yet, despite the pressure, something inside her refused to break. For the first time, she understood that love had given her a backbone she never knew she had. They tried everything to stop her. Restrictions tightened, doors closed earlier, freedom shrank to the size of a single room. They believed that distance would erase love, that time would make her forget. But love does not fade when it is real. It grows stronger in confinement. Each passing day without him felt like a wound, but also a reminder of what she was fighting for. In her loneliness, she discovered resilience. She learned how strong her heart could be when it had no choice but to endure. Outside those walls, life continued, unaware of the quiet war being fought within her. She watched seasons change through windows, feeling like a spectator in her own existence. Friends drifted away, laughter became rare, and hope flickered dangerously low. Yet in the darkest moments, she held on to the memory of how love had made her feel alive. That memory became her light, guiding her through nights of doubt and fear. Her family believed they were protecting her, saving her from regret. In their minds, love that defied tradition was reckless, destined to fail. They could not see that by trying to cage her heart, they were pushing her toward a loneliness far worse than any heartbreak. Every attempt to control her only deepened the distance between them. The home that once felt safe now felt like a prison, and the people she loved most had become the ones she feared disappointing. The breaking point came quietly, not with shouting or chaos, but with a calm decision that settled deep in her chest. She realized that staying meant losing herself completely. She understood that love, real love, was not just about another person, but about honoring the truth of who she was. Walking away did not mean she loved her family less. It meant she finally loved herself enough to stop living a lie. Leaving was the hardest thing she had ever done. Every step away from her family felt like tearing a piece of her soul. She carried guilt like a shadow, wondering if she was selfish, ungrateful, cruel. But alongside the pain was a strange sense of peace. For the first time, her choices were her own. She was terrified of the unknown, but also hopeful in a way she had never allowed herself to be before. Life outside her family's protection was not easy. Love did not magically solve everything. There were struggles, uncertainties, moments when she questioned whether she had made the right choice. But through it all, she felt alive. She learned to navigate the world on her own terms, to stand up after falling, to believe in her worth without constant approval. Love did not weaken her, it taught her strength. Slowly, time did what anger could not. The distance softened hearts. Her family began to see the change in her, not through arguments but through her resilience. They saw that she had not been destroyed by love, that she had grown. They noticed the quiet confidence, the steadiness in her eyes. It forced them to confront a painful truth, the girl they tried to protect had become a woman capable of choosing her own path. Reconciliation did not happen overnight. It came in fragments, small gestures, cautious words, moments of understanding. Forgiveness was not simple, but it was possible. Love, in its quiet persistence, had opened a door that force never could. Her family began to realize that stopping her love had almost cost them her entirely. In the end, her story was not about defiance or rebellion. It was about courage. The courage to choose happiness in the face of opposition. To remain gentle in a world that demanded obedience. To believe that love could heal even the deepest divides. She did not win by abandoning her family or erasing her past, but by proving that love and loyalty do not have to be enemies. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you of your own struggles, sacrifices, or silent battles, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe to the channel. Your support means more than you know. Before the story ends, we have one special request for you. Please comment below and share what you believe is worth fighting for in life. Love, family, dreams, or freedom. Her family tried to stop her love, but in doing so, they taught her the most important lesson of all, that love worth having is love worth standing up for. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is choose your heart, even when the world tells you not to.